Few things in this world compare to the sheer intensity and passion we feel when we are falling in love anew. It is as if the world suddenly bursts into technicolor. The sky looks bluer. The songs on the radio seem to be written just for you, and every text message sends a rush of dopamine straight to your heart. In psychology, we often talk about the honeymoon phase. It is a beautiful biological trick designed to bond us together. During this time, we wear what we call rose-colored glasses. These emotionally tinted lenses can be thick enough to let us overlook just about anything questionable about our shiny new interest. But my friends, as beautiful as that season is, it does not last forever. It is not meant to. As the relationship starts to get more serious, those rushing emotions stabilize. The chemical fog lifts, and those overlooked red flags sharpen a bit in clarity. Often, the problems that arise later in a relationship are the very same ones that were there since the beginning, just waiting for the rose color to fade. Now, please hear me when I say this. Some conflict is normal. Two different human beings trying to build a life together will have friction. That is healthy. But the frequency and the degree of these problems determine if this is just a bump in the road or a flashing red sign of an imminent end. If you are wondering about the health of your partnership, I want you to listen to these 12 early signs with an open heart. The first sign is that your relationship is solely about the romantic pull. Romantic attraction is the spark that lights the fire. It is important, absolutely. It is part of what forms a solid bond, but a spark is not a fireplace. A healthy, strong relationship must consist of something in common with your partner, other than just the romance or the physical chemistry. Ask yourself, what do we talk about when we are not flirting? Do we have shared interests? Do we have aligned goals? Do we share values? Without any similar interests or common ground to stand on, the foundation is weak. It is like the little pig who built his house out of straw. It looks nice for a moment, but when the winds of life blow, it can collapse easily. The second sign is a tricky one. You do not like their friends. There is an old saying that goes, "Tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are." There is certainly some profound truth to that wisdom. While it is perfectly healthy and fine for you and your partner to have your own separate social circles, a problem arises when there is an active, visceral dislike for the people they choose to surround themselves with. Friends act as a reflection of the person. If you find their friends to be unkind, unmotivated, or disrespectful, you have to wonder what that says about your partner. This implies that, on some level, you may not actually like the person you are with, or at least the side of them that resonates with those friends. This could be an early whisper that the two of you are not well matched. Number 3 is the opposite problem. You spend too much time together. Is your partner the only person you see, to the exclusion of everyone else? In the beginning, we want to be with our beloved every second. this continues, spending too much time together may eventually erode your own sense of self. We often hear people say, "You are my whole world." It sounds romantic in a movie, but in reality, it is dangerous. If taken at face value, this implies a total dependence on them for your identity and happiness. This is not healthy, and it is certainly not sustainable. A healthy relationship consists of two whole individuals stepping together, not two halves trying to make a whole. The fourth sign is that your relationship feels one-sided. Relationships are a dance of give and take. It is one thing when your partner tells you they love you, but it is another thing entirely when they do not show it in their actions. I want you to reflect. Do you usually start the difficult conversations? Are you the one always planning the dates? Do you feel you are giving much more energy than you are getting back? While relationships are definitely not competitions, and we should not keep a scorecard, both you and your partner should be doing the work to hold the structure together. If you are the only one rowing the boat, you will eventually spin in circles and exhaust yourself. The fifth sign is a heavy one. You feel controlled. Do you notice more and more that your opinions or decisions are constantly overridden? Maybe a decision was made about your weekend, or your finances, or your home without your input, and the expectation is for you to simply follow along happily. This is a major warning sign. It may mean that your partner does not respect you or care about your autonomy. Healthy relationships require mutual respect. Being in a relationship with this kind of imbalance does not bode well for your future happiness. A partner can change this by learning to value your opinion, but you must ask yourself if you are willing to wait for that change. Number 6 is that you cannot be yourself around them. We all know that first impressions are important. On a first date, we dress more carefully. We chew with our mouths closed, and we filter our personalities like a curated picture on social media. But what about the second impression? Or the 100th? By the time a relationship becomes serious, you should not need to put on that first impression suit. You should be able to be messy, silly, sad, or quiet. If you still feel like you have to perform to be loved, or if you feel you have to hide parts of your true self to keep the peace, this is a key sign that there is trouble ahead. True love is a safe harbor where you can unmask. The 7th sign is deeply painful. You do not feel accepted. Does your partner feed a constant flow of criticism to you? Do they say it is for your own good or for the better? Perhaps they critique the way you dress, the way you speak, or the hobbies you enjoy. It feels like they want a different person than the one standing in front of them. Initially, you may justify going along with it to salvage the relationship. You might think, maybe I should change. But the reality is, you are sacrificing the wonderful, unique, and valuable essence of who you are for a person who does not see your worth. You deserve to be treated like the gem you are, not mistaken for a lump of coal that needs to be polished into something else. The eighth sign is that you fight all the time. Now, as I mentioned, occasional conflict is normal. When handled correctly, conflict helps couples understand each other's differences. But if the conflict is constant, volatile, and draining, especially early in the relationship, this is a clear sign of incompatibility. If all the energy for the relationship is sapped from arguing, there is no energy left for love. If most conversations turn into a screaming match, or if you feel you are walking on eggshells constantly, it is not healthy. Your nervous system deserves peace, not a constant state of fight or flight. Number 9 is a foundational crack. You do not trust each other. Healthy, lasting relationships require mutual trust as the bedrock. Trust is what allows closeness, honesty, and vulnerability to occur. Without it, you cannot build anything lasting. A lack of trust in a relationship is not something that will fix itself if ignored. This can look like many things: checking their phone on the sly, feeling anxiety when they go out, or frequently calling to check on them. These issues will repeatedly return to haunt you until one of two things happens. You learn to trust, or the relationship ends because there is no room to grow. Love cannot breathe without trust. The 10th sign is often overlooked. They are regularly mean to other people. Were you shocked when your sweet, soft-spoken partner was unreasonably impatient with a waiter? It is a definite cause for concern when your partner acts one way toward you and another toward someone else. Character is not how you treat the people you want to impress. Character is how you treat the people who can do nothing for you. Do they act like two different people, being kind to you, then turning around and yelling at a driver in traffic? If the answer is yes, you should be wary. They might simply be putting on a facade to win you over. Eventually, the mask will slip, and that unkindness will be directed at you. Number 11 is that they are passive-aggressive. Communication is the lifeblood of a relationship. When your partner is passive-aggressive, it means there is a blockage in that flow. It is perfectly fine to be frustrated or upset, but making backhanded compliments, giving the silent treatment, using sarcasm as a weapon, or playing the victim are toxic behaviors. These are defense mechanisms designed to avoid true intimacy. Holding grudges instead of solving problems will be the death of your relationship if it continues. You need a partner who can say, "I am hurt," not one who punishes you with silence. And finally, the 12th sign is the most tragic of all. The timing is not right. Sometimes, no matter how much you want to be with someone, and no matter how much love is there, the timing just will not allow it. You might be at different stages in your life. One of you wants to travel the world, and the other wants to settle down and start a family. One of you is focused on a demanding career, and the other needs a partner who is present. Perhaps one of you is still healing from a past trauma and is not ready to open up. Whatever the reason, if the timing is not in your favor, it might mean the end. This is the hardest one to accept because it has nothing to do with love and everything to do with life. My dear friends, looking at this list can be heavy. It can be scary to admit that the relationship we are investing in might not be the right one. But I want to remind you of something very important. Perfection is a myth. No relationship is perfect. However, there are some things we cannot and should not compromise on. Your safety, your dignity, your peace of mind, and your sense of self are non-negotiable. We often settle for less in a relationship than what we require to have a fulfilling one. We do this because we are afraid of being alone, or because we think we can fix the other person. But hopefully, we are learning that our time is valuable. You are valuable. I want you to take a moment and reflect. Have you seen signs like these before in your life? Maybe in a past relationship, or maybe, just maybe, in your current one. What was the result? How did that result come about? Did you stay too long, or did you leave when you saw the writing on the wall? There is no shame in admitting that something isn't working. In fact, it is an act of tremendous courage. By recognizing these signs, you are not failing. You are protecting your future self. You are clearing the space for the right kind of love to enter your life. A love that is kind, a love that is consistent, and a love that celebrates you exactly as you are. If you are currently in a situation that feels like what we have described, know that you have options. You can communicate your needs. You can seek counseling. Or you can choose to walk away. Whatever you choose, make sure it is a choice that honors the beautiful, worthy person that you are. We would love to hear your experiences. Please share your story in the comments below. Your story might be the exact thing someone else needs to read today to feel less alone. Let us keep the relationship between you and this community lasting and strong. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and for being open to growth. Please like this video if it resonated with you, and share it with a friend who might need a gentle nudge. Don't forget to subscribe to Happy Aura for more content on living your best, most authentic life. I am sending you so much love, so much light, and the courage to choose what is best for you. You are loved, you are enough, and you are capable of building a beautiful life. Let us explore one final thought before we go. It is easy to look at a list like this and feel discouraged, to feel like finding a healthy relationship is an impossible task. But I want to reframe this for you. These signs are not just warnings, they are guidelines. They are a map to what you do want. If the warning sign is you do not trust each other, then the goal is unshakable safety. If the warning sign is you cannot be yourself, then the goal is radical acceptance. By knowing what does not work, you are gaining clarity on what does. Think of your heart as a garden. If you let weeds grow, the weeds of disrespect, control, or incompatibility. It will choke out the flowers. But if you are diligent, if you pull those weeds when they are small, those early signs we talked about, you leave room for the beautiful things to bloom. You leave room for respect, for laughter, for easy silence, and for deep, enduring connection. It is also important to remember that you teach people how to treat you. When you tolerate the intolerable, when you stay in a situation where you are controlled or criticized, you are subconsciously agreeing to that treatment. But when you set a boundary, when you say, "I will not accept this," you are raising your vibration. You are telling the universe and yourself that you deserve better. And believe me, when you truly believe you deserve better, you will attract better. So, do not be afraid of these signs. Embrace them as tools. Use them to assess your reality with honesty and compassion. If you find yourself checking off many of these boxes, do not beat yourself up. Be gentle with yourself. You did the best you could with the knowledge you had at the time. But now you know more. And when we know better, we can do better. You have the power to write your own love story. It does not have to be a tragedy. It does not have to be a drama filled with highs and lows. It can be a steady, warm, comforting story of two people who choose each other every single day. A story where you are safe, where you are heard, and where you are free to be your most authentic self. That is the love story I want for you. That is the love story you deserve. Thank you again for being here. Take care of your heart. It is the most precious thing you own. Until next time, keep shining your light. Goodbye for now.